Hello everyone, my name is Lily and you are on the channel Just One More Page. Today I wanted to talk about books I read in February. On the 2nd of February, a Russian booktube by Anya Bookspace started the DOS marathon, and I of course participated in it. That was an interactive marathon where you don't know the themes until the end. Now I wanted to explain how that marathon worked. Well, you have you had a map with three orbits. On each orbit there were different objects, like the doors, the portals, and the flip cards. And each object had a task. Well, on the first orbit was three doors. And the tasks was an orange door. You must to read a book from new to your author. The blue one says that you must read a book from your favorite author, and the purple one you must read book. You must give a second chance to some author. Well, an author of second chance. I chose to read the book from new to me author, so I went to an orange door and I read The Whispering Skull by Jonathan Stroud. Then 5 days went, and after 5 days the second orbit opened, and there were not only doors but portals and flip cards. If you chose flip card, you fulfill a task, and then in the marathon you will read only 3 books. That's not for me, because I wanted to read all series of Lockwood and Company, so I went to the portal and find myself in front of the second blue door, and the task was to read a book with black or white cover. That was really easy for me, because yes, and then the third orbit was open. Well, I've read The Hollow Boy by Jonathan Stroud, the next book in series, and then the third orbit was open. There also were portals and flip cards. Well, I had 2 more books in series, so I went to the portal another time and went to the second orange door and to the second purple. And then I've read The Creeping Shadow and The Empty Grave. Well, The Creeping Shadow and The Empty Grave. Yes. But I must have read another book to fulfill the marathon. So I went to the flip card, and the task was: this book you've heard from at least 3 booktube bloggers. Of course, I've heard about that book from Russian booktube bloggers, and the book was A Man Called Ulf by Backman. Well, there I wanted to add a picture of the book. I think I can add a picture it will be very strange. Okay, and that was the end of the marathon for me until after I've read that book. So I've read 6 books on the marathon, and that was my whole February. Now I wanted to speak about these books with more details. And I wanted to start it with the Jonathan Stroud series, Lockwood and Co. First, I've heard about this series from another Russian booktuber, Yulia Volkodov, and she spoke about these books like Halloween books to read on Halloween, and she spoke about that so good that I wanted to read immediately. Funny fact that I saw the cover of the first book, the Screaming Staircase, when I was 15 or 16, when I went to the bookshop, and when I saw that cover I thought, what book about pirates? I don't want to read it. And that's funny. So I read these books when I'm 21. I love this series from the very beginning. Author is the true master, and Rick Riordan said about Jonathan Stroud that he is master of creating worlds that are so similar to ours, but at the time they are different at all. And I share his opinion. When you read these books, you understand that that's a fantasy world, and none of characters exists in real, but you believe it, you believe also. So I wanted to speak a little about the characters of the book. The main characters, not all of them. And I wanted to start it with George Cummings. He is an agent in the agency Lockwood and Company, and he's an enthusiastic explorer and excellent theoretic. His research is not once keeps them alive, all the company alive, and he is a very loyal friend too. That was very interesting to read about characters' interaction, like George's and Lucy's interactions in the book, through all the series, of course. When from the first book they didn't like each other, and in the end of the series they are very good friends, and they save lives each other. Once the skull, another character of the book, said that George looks not into appearance but into personality of people. Then Lucy Carlyle, she is narrator of the book and maybe the main character, and thanks God she's not Mary Sue. She is brave and smart sometimes. She has special talents like listening and touching. That's talents that keep you alive while you working with ghosts. And she has limits, of course. She has limits. She has fears. She is not ideal, and that makes her very, very real, like a character. The first book begins with Lucy, who is looking for a job, and she went to the Lockwood and Co. company and Co. agency, and there the journey starts. Adventure starts. She was born in a small North England town. She has 6 sisters, I believe. If I remember correctly, 6. And she has her talents from her mother. We can see the developing of her character through each book, and she faces her fears, she discovers secrets, and past is not what everyone believes it is. Well, another character of the book, for Lucy, I think he is the main character. Of course, it's Anthony Lockwood, or just Lockwood. He is the leader of the smallest agency in London, Lockwood and Company. He is a very mystery person. The first books describe him to us like very mystery person, and Lucy very intrigued by him and wanted to discover all his secrets. Well, Lockwood is an excellent duelist. He also have special talent sight. He can see ghosts, but not only see them. Every agent can see them. He can see after death lighting. Well, I think you understand what I mean. He is very charismatic person, and author shows us the world with ghosts and brave agents who risk their lives every day, every night, to fighting the problem of hunting ghosts. We can see the world after nearly 50 years from the starting of the problem of hunting ghosts. Well, and author treating us like a member of this world or some kind of tourist. So we immerse into this world, and from the start we are the part of the adventures. I can say that these books are worth your attention because you can have a great time while reading them. Well, some say that that's Halloween books to read on Halloween. Obviously ghost hunters, Halloween, yes, but I've read them in winter, and that was very, very interesting. A man called Ove, I didn't Google that. I read this book by Frederick Backman. Also, I read this book by Frederick Backman in February. Well, I listening in audio version of this book, and I loved the author style and his humor. He wrote very, very good about the book. This story about an old man, a man in ages, He is 59. Yes, 59. And about his life. He didn't understand the modern world, and he believes in justice. He believes that his hard work will be paid in future, and his story is touching, his deeds is inspiring, and his life, well, his life, what we can see from the beginning of the book, is far from normal, really far from normal. We can see the tragedy or drama of his life, um, while how he's fighting officials, how he doesn't understand people, and he can't socialize with the entire world. He is a very close man. We can see the injustice of the world and his pain and his sadness. He's so tired of life, and that's really sad. But he understands that the world needs him, so he studied his second life and fight for justice, fight for his friends, fight for his loved ones. That's a good tale for grown-ups, because obviously we need tales. Of course we need tales. Don't be so serious while reading this book. It's just fiction. Just read and enjoy the story, and I think that this book is very interesting to those who wanted something bright and kind, and and with good humor, to smile and laughing while reading. If you wanted, I recommended this book. And I think that's all for now. That was Lily, and my channel, Just One More Page. Read and discover new worlds. Goodbye.